everyone, this is Love and Sparkles, and I am going to kit up Lost Child because the event starts tomorrow. So, the handy dandy art doc box. Because there is so much 3371 in this kit and so much 310, I figured I would just put it in here. Okay, and we get a large tray, so I'll use that for the unkitting, or the kitting up. Get another one of those, and that one's got the wide funnel. Okay. And some labels. Plenty of labels. Labels, and more labels. And you get a straightener, more labels, little boats. Looks like the wide placers. And lots of pink wax. But I wanted this. Okay, and so take one out. And we get 2 layers. There are 2 layers. Everyone notice 2 layers of the big bottles. Not a small bottle and then a big bottle. So I'm going to do these first. So, let's find this. First one is 102. These were after they started doing the pre-cut. 102. And we will go in here and find 102. The AB one. Okay, so not that thing, so it's got to be in this thing. And let's see. Okay, let me see. And I know I have some scissors somewhere up here. There they are. There they are. Okay. Stay. So I'm going to cut that out. So I can do the 102. This is not done in sequence. It's done by how many drills are in each one. And then the reason I wanted this is I'm going to do this way. And I watched someone that would cut them this way across, and I was like, "Oh my God, I would make a horrible mess if I was to cut them that way. I really would. I would just make a horrible mess." Okay, and now we're on 310. So this is where it's just going to start being a massive amount. Here's the first one. Now, I just had them scissors in my hand. The only bad thing is I always put things down and I don't know where I put them. Had a very busy weekend. We went to the Enchanted Mystic event. Me and my granddaughter. We had an absolute blast. I do mean an absolute blast. They had animals there that were up for adoption. And so she stayed there, and she bought her a mood ring at one of the vendors because it was indoors, and so I just kind of let her go, and I call her every once in a while on her phone and say, "Hey, how you doing? Where you at?" And she did some dowsing rods and did some incense, and actually won some incense, won some little charms, and then today her dad gave her $5 to spend, and when we went back, and so she bought a necklace, a wire wrapped necklace. So she was really happy, and then like she was like, "Mom, Nana, can you get me an early birthday present?" And so I was like, "Okay, what is it?" And what it was silver tubes that were attached to a pipe that went across, and then you could take the little like I called it the bong thing, where it just kind of, you know, hits against it and makes them make noise, and she thought that was the best thing since chicken soup, so I did get that for her. I got my chakras aligned because they were way out of alignment, which I knew they would be. I told the guy, I was like, oh, mine are going to be like, oh, wow, way out there. And after he did it, he was like, man, you were so right. And I was like, yeah, I kind of figured they would be bad. And by the next day, I kind of did a little quiz, and according to it, 2 of them had blocked back off. So today, someone told me that I needed to work on them, to, start working on them and actually trying to keep them open, and it would help. So it was suggested, and actually I've had a regular doctor suggest the same thing. So I guess they're not way out there about meditating and, de-stressing and stuff like that. So they're not way out there. I did get me a couple of stones, one that really reacted in my hand, so they actually custom wire wrapped it on the site for me, and I brought it home. Beautiful malachite, beautiful malachite. And then I bought like a 10-inch long crystal and jade carved knife. Beautiful, beautiful piece of work. I don't know how they did it without cracking it. I mean, because you would think that when you're like carving on crystal and jade that it would crack it, but it didn't. It was beautiful. And they were like, we just really don't want to transport it back home because we've already had 2 of these break, because they're so fragile. So yeah, we'll even give you $10 extra off if you'll just take it off our hands. So it was like, yeah, done. Beautiful. So I got that. I got the malachite. Went ahead and got the chakra stuff. And then I found out that they actually take VA referral because they also do massage therapy. So I just put in a message to my VA doctor to see if I could get a VA referral done to them so that I don't have to pay for it. Because when I was telling them about my arm, while they were doing the chakra thing, the guy looked at me and he said, hold on a minute. And he went and got his wife and he said, tell her what you have. And I told her, and she goes, I can fix that. She goes, it'll take maybe 1 to 2 sessions and I can fix that. And he was like, yeah, she can fix that because I had the same thing and she can fix it. He goes, now I can tell you right now, you're going to be like, ah, when she fixes it, because you're going to feel it, but you'll feel so much better when it's over. So I did put a thing into my doctor saying, can I get a referral? Because actually, according to that lady, you can get 12 sessions on the VA. And she goes, by then I know I'd have you all straightened out and then maybe just come in for like once a month to, keep yourself aligned. I was like, wow, okay. Works for me. And then found that they have a meeting group for people who are like-minded, thinking that they can meet for a couple hours a month and sit down and, talk about things and things that are going on or things that have gone on and talk them out. And so I was like, wow, that is so neat. I didn't know that these people existed. I mean, it was just really nice. A couple of them are going to the one I'm going to in May. So it was a very nice 2 days. And I got this one, and it's moonstones and lava rock and hematite all together. And you pick your stones. And then I picked rosemary because rosemary helps your memory. It enhances memory. And I was like, yeah, my memory is like, yeah, could really use that. So I picked rosemary as the scent to put on my stones. So, you take and they gave me this little bitty 1 ml bottle. It was the cutest little thing. I didn't even know they came that small. In the cutest little bottle. So it was a very nice time. I had a very enjoyable time. Met some very, very nice people. Some are going to the same thing I'm going to, so I'll be able to meet them again and maybe, have people that you can go hang out with, meet up with or something, I gotta find my 317s. 3371, 3371, 3371. So it is not there. So it's not in that grouping. 415, 318, 414, 317. Now, if you notice when I did this mine the other day with Dreamer's Design, theirs were all numerical. It was like they started at the lowest number and just worked their way up. These don't. These is a whole lot of, you gotta fish for it. And this is why I put the tray underneath so that I can kind of do that. Make them pop out. I mean, just make them pop out. Except for that little black one. I don't want him to go in there. But all the little gray ones I do. You just make them pop out. Go in there. And get them on in there. There we go. And the next one. So, it was very enjoyable. And she got to play with all kinds of dogs and kitties. They had a raccoon there. I mean, had a grand old time. Me, I got a malachite, I got a clear quartz, and I was given, they said they just felt like I needed it. I thought, oh, thank you. Okay, I'll take it. I mean, any helps her. They were like, well, you just feel like you could use what the properties from it are. So I was like, all right. And that was a red jasper. So they said, pick it in when you want, but keep it on your body. Or within, they said, keep it within 5 feet of you. And I was like, okay. They said, you can keep it in your purse, you can, you know, anywhere you want, but just keep it around. Don't, like, put it in your house and just leave it there. Well, I might try my own hand at wire wrapping. Because the guy who did the wire wrapping, I mean, his price wasn't horrible. It was like $25 to wire wrap a stone. And I had spent so much money, I just really didn't have it. So maybe the end of next month, if someone there wire wraps, maybe I can have them wire wrap it and put it in a bracelet. You know, and that would be cool. So I might do that. But it was really, really a fun time. Had a lot of very nice people. A lot of interesting people. Some people you're not so sure about. Some, you know, but very nice. I did. It was like for the fun of it, I had my tarot read. And actually, I mean, I didn't tell her. They were like, you're not telling us anything, are you? I said, no. And she was pretty spot on, so. But basically, she was just reading the cards that came up. And she was like, oh my God, what these cards are saying is what your life has been like. Oh my God, you poor woman. She just was like, I can tell you it does get better. And I was like, okay. I will take that. But I was told I do need to center myself, work on my chakras, and try my hand at meditation. And I said, but my brain goes squirrel. And it does. I try to meditate and my brain just literally goes squirrel. I mean, literally. It literally goes squirrel and goes off on its own little tangent running around. I said it really, you know, because I've tried to meditate and it's like I sit there and think, oh, I'm doing so great. And then next thing I know, it's like it's off on squirrel land. All right, where is that color? Is that it? Nope. That is 318. Just not that one. So I bet that one was, I don't know what it was. I'll have to look. But it ain't this one, because that's what this one is. I'm looking for this one. And I did get the weirdest reading from a lady. This one, 414. So, I don't know what this one is. This one will go for whatever's left at the end. And I'll do this one for this one. That's the 414. Okay. But it was very enjoyable, and a couple of these people are going to be, like I said, at the event that I'm going to at the end of next month. It's a camp out and camping out, and so maybe I can meet people who, you know, don't know what, oh my God, you're this, I'm not talking to you kind of thing. So meet some people that I can, you know, that are in the area, because like one of the ladies I was talking to today that we really hit it off lives in Holland, and she's going to be at the Harmony Pagan Pride. It's called Pagan and Pride is what the event's called. Okay, so let me see what I've got over here. I've got 318, which is right there. I've got 414. 310, 310. That's one way to do it. 415. Okay, that makes sense, because that definitely looks like 415. That does look like 415. Because I was thinking, wow, that looks like 415. And it really is. It is 415. So, okay. So now we'll go to 422. So I was like, well, I'll be there, and I'm going to have a couple little kids, but I'll be there, you know, because my grandsons are going with me. My daughter's getting a bunch of stuff from the school for me, so I don't have to actually purchase stuff. You know, she's getting a couple of lanterns, a couple of sleeping bags, you know, a cooler, and a cook stove, so that I don't have to purchase those things. You know, I can just get them from her from the college, because she's college staff. And she actually helped me put the flyer together that I made for the event. So I did that one, guys. I actually did that one. You know, she walked me through it, but I actually did that one. I was like, wow, that's how you do it. And so, getting a little better. And she showed me a couple places in there where you can go to school, actually take courses. So it was like, okay. And this weekend I took my test on Unit 3, and that one was quite difficult. Quite difficult. I ended up getting 452. I ended up only getting, I only got 81% on that one, because they only let you take the quiz twice, but I passed it at least, because you have to have 70 to pass. And quite frankly, my brain just went brain fried, and I was like, oh God, I can't, I'm done. And so I was just like, I'm done, toast. But I did get me some rosemary, something that had rosemary in it, and that way I can smell it and try to help get my focus when I'm trying to study, because my brain just goes, ah, it goes wherever it wants. It's like squirrel brain. If y'all ever watch Nyx and she's talking about how her brain just shoots off to somewhere else, it's an amazing thing, but it really does. They just kind of go, ah, this way. Hi, kitty. Hi, kitty. I think it's this way. All right, you're going to have to move. But yeah, it was a very fun weekend. And I was actually surprised because when I bought my tickets to go to this event, I actually thought that the town might actually not let it go through. I really did. I really thought that. I was really, and they were actually surprised that it was allowed to be put on. But they did put a church revival right outside the doors. I mean, it was like right outside the doors. I was like, really? Both days. Right outside the doors. So I guess, you know, I don't know. It was weird. It was weird, but I was surprised they even allowed it to be put on. That was kind of an amazing thing. But it was very fun. And it was fun to be able to do it with my granddaughter. Oh, Lord. And I found some amazing tea, and I actually, I was like, you know, I have this stuff at my house, but I don't have this blend. I'm not good enough yet to know how to put it together. So I actually bought the tea so that I could know how it tastes, know what it takes, and kind of try to build the blend myself. And I know I had one last night. It was for aligning your, you know, chocolate or whatever. All I know is I drank that, and in 10 minutes I was out, and I slept for like 3.5 hours, and I was smooth out. My granddaughter said, you were snoring, the cat was laying on your head, you didn't even notice. And it was blue. Never seen blue tea before, but it was blue. 60, 61, I need 898. So it's got to be in this one. There it is. But it was blue tea. Beautiful blue, because it had blue flowers in it. But man, I just relaxed right on down and went right on out. It was like, say goodnight, Gracie. You know, they're very, very nice, very open people. You know, I would be asking herbally questions, and they were like, oh. And I was like, yeah, I'm taking a course. And they were like, you realize whenever you get done with that, you will be an herbalist. And I was like, yeah. They said, well, then why don't you start putting together stuff? You could go to these shows, you know, and put some stuff out. And I said, well, right now I don't have enough of it off to do that. But, you know, maybe that's a thought. And they were like, and you're talking about your diamond paintings. Bring your diamond paintings, you know, your framed ones, and see if they'll sell. One lady, okay, guys, I'll poop you not. The witchy one that's in the paint gems. Someone had done some of those. They did the paint gems, and they had them in little plastic bags, and were selling each picture for $10. Each picture for $10. I was like, really? That's what made me think maybe I could sell my stuff. And they were like, basically, it's if someone, you know, makes a connection with it, they'll purchase it. If they don't, the worst you can do is load them back up and take them home. I was like, well, yeah, that's true. That is so well and true. See, I have these. Once I get these done, I know that I'll have to make a piece of paper and then write a code word on it for this one. That's one of their crazy things. And usually I don't join them that do that kind of nutty stuff. But okay, whatever. And it's just because they watched someone else have an event that did that. But it's like, okay, but you make it way too complicated. But I'd already pulled this picture out, so I thought, well, I'll go ahead and do it. I'll go ahead and do it. That one is 3371. So I gotta find my 3371. Not there. There. And it's all 4 of these puppies, so I'm gonna have a lot of them. I'd say probably about 8 jars, maybe a little more. So it was like a very nice weekend. And my granddaughter had a wonderful time. She got a henna painting on her hand, and it's supposed to last for a couple weeks. And she thought that was great. And I actually went over to the tea. I was over at this one place that had teacups because I needed a tea strainer because my daughter doesn't do tea, and so I needed tea strainer so I could use the tea last night. And so I found one that I liked, and I was like, well, how much for the teacups? And she goes, oh, that was for if you got tea readings. And she was like, are you with her? And I was like, yeah. And she said, oh, then it's nothing for you. You can go ahead and just take it. And I was just like, okay. Yeah, I guess they connected at some point, way, whatever. I don't know, but I was like, okay, are you sure? She's like, I'm sure. I was like, well, thank you very much. So I was like, that was my blessing for the day. That's what I called it, my blessing for the day. Oh, yes. Almost done. Gonna have a lot of brown. A lot of brown. I mean, I've loved her work, but always it's so dark. So these are ones I have to really work through, because I usually don't like to do dark paintings. I like dark art, but I just don't like painting the dark colors. But I'd rather do them than 3865. I hate 3865. Because if you're out of line or if there's any issues, you see them. See them very significantly. I mean, they're very pronounced. Whereas with dark colors, you really don't notice it as much. A little too much. A little too much. I gotta vacuum my floor. And when I have to vacuum my floor, I just throw them on the floor. It's like, go join your friends. There was one dog that I just loved that I saw there, and I would have loved to have gotten it, but I was like, no, I can't. I said, if I bring another dog home, I got a dog that I think he'd pack his bags and move to the woods. And I really do. I think my biggest one would just pack his bags, move to the woods. And it's so weird, because if I'm not home now, and they're home, I mean, I put food out there, I put water out there, but do you think they'll go out there and they'll eat it? They ate very little while I was gone. They ate, between the 3 of them, a bowl and a half of the 4 bowls I put out. And then it's going to be another, 3 or 4 days in May, so I hope they get better at it. Guys got to get better about it, because, I'm going to be gone for a few days. Don't want y'all to starve. Now we're on 3772. Okay, what color is that? I think it's this one. Yep. What a weird color. Come out. Come out, says me. And it's not even that it had static, it just didn't want to let it come out of the package. Now those have a little bit, because you can see it climbing up the sides there. Okay, 3799. Gonna be quite a few of those too. So at least 3 of them. And then when I get done doing this, I'm going to go over and work. I got to make at least, I know of 6 tinctures and get them up and going. I know of at least 6. And I bought my vodka for it the other day, so I'll get them to going, because it takes 6 weeks for them to extract. During that 6 weeks, I'll be like a diamond painting fool. I am glad, though, that I kept all my tables, kept quite a few other things, so that if I do start making stuff and start taking it to different pagan festivals, that I can use my tables and my setup. Okay, next number, 3860. And these are all just really dark colors. But we only got 4 more bags and we're done getting up, so maybe only just use the top one. So if I wanted to, I could actually kit up another one underneath and have one that, that I could have for like whenever I need to have a break in between stuff I'm working on. Oh, and the other thing my granddaughter bought for herself, I mean, she bought it with her, she's got a green card. It's like a little credit card, and her allowance goes in it. Her parents make part of it go into her savings, and part goes in her on her credit that she can use. And she bought a wind chime, a wind chime, a crystal wind chime, really pretty. Because I like kind of just let her roam around, do her own thing, and then she'd call and say, "Where are you at?" And I'd tell her, I'd call her and say, "Where are you at?" And she'd tell me. Oh, Lord. I cannot believe I did that. Okay, because I was trying to pour that, and I poured that. Because I was trying to get that. So now I got to go through here and get all of these. I don't know if any of y'all watch Ruby Q, but I was so glad to find out, you know, because I know she did not want to move, you know, especially, you know, to Japan. And she was very upset about it. And I don't blame her. Because I've been where she's at. And I felt really bad for her. Really bad. And, alright, why? Okay. There's 16, 17, 18. And so I felt really bad for her. So I was glad to find out that they were letting her go, you know, to California, which would give her her parents and her family as her support system while her husband's gone for those 2 years. Because I've been an unaccompanied wife, and I was left at our base while he went. And it's very hard. It's very stressful because, you know, at first, yeah, they remember you, that you know, they're all about supporting you. And then it gets to where they kind of forget you. You know, your husband's not going into work every day anymore, so they kind of forget about you. And they're like, well, you know, you're not really our responsibility anymore. And so you really have no, I mean, yeah, you have somewhere to live, but you have no support system. You know, if something goes really bad, crazy, wonky, you really don't have a support system. Your best bet is to get in close with his old squadron so that they, oh yeah, we remember you. Because otherwise, it's like after a couple, you know, 3, 4, 5 months go by, they forget all about you. He ain't going to work no more. They don't think nothing about you. It's a done deal. And so, yeah, it was kind of a sad thing, but that's kind of the way it rolls. There we go. Oh. Then what I will do is I will just sit this over there, wait till I get the code word, and then pop the code word on a piece of paper and put the piece of paper on top of my picture, and along with all the kit up stuff. And yeah, they make it really difficult. I kind of go over the top with it if you ask me, but okay. All right. Throwing all that stuff off to where it's... Okay, guys, there it is. That is Lost Child. All kitted up. Need that. We'll put that in here along with this, along with my big paper. I'm going to put that in the top. So all that stuff will be in the top. We'll close it up, zip it up, put it over there. When I get the code word will go on a piece of paper. I'll take the photo, you know, get it all done so that I can post pictures when I need to. All right, get in there. There we go. All right, so that was the kitting up of Lost Child. I hope you all enjoyed that. I'll be back with more videos. Love y'all. Thank you for coming. As Christopher says, do all the YouTube things. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit the little bell. Make it turn black. That way, you'll know when I'm here. So thank you very much, everybody, and I will talk to you later. Bye.